everyone, George here, and we're back again working on our level. In the last few episodes, we had wrapped up finishing up the men's room. Now we're going to extend everything we've done there into the women's restroom, and that's pretty much just going to end up being us kind of duplicating the entire thing, moving it over and reassociating where the elements actually are. So we might as well go ahead over here now and start getting rid of some of these elements. So let's go ahead and see, get rid of that. Coming down over here, it looks like we're still not quite getting rid of everything. So let's see where we are. This is sink. There's a bunch of other sinks as well. That's not really important. Let's just hide a few things and also try to see if there are some nodes here that we don't need anymore. These look like they're empty transforms, so we might as well go ahead and clean that out. So go ahead and delete those. Just going to hide this stuff just in case I accidentally delete something I shouldn't. I know that it's not, not going to destroy everything. We also have other ones like bathroom stalls and just a lot of nodes that no longer exist. So just empty group nodes or transform nodes. So we've got floor nav path, and of course the floor, we can go ahead and gut that out. Oh wait, this is floor nav path. We're going to leave that for the moment. What I do want to play with though is, let's see. So this is floor women's restroom. That can go, and really, I mean, I think I can pretty much come in here and just hit delete to this entire object right there. I'll leave the nav path for now. In fact, if anything, I might want to add that to its own separate layer. So let's make a new one, call this nav path. Enter, save, and add that. And then we'll just make that a template for right now so that we can't select it. We'll do a reference, actually. All right, so now we just need to find this object. So that's going to be our bathroom male. And let's just Control-D, duplicate the entire thing, and just call this female instead. Enter. Grab this entire object now, and we just need to center things up in a way that makes sense. So let's first just move this out of the way. And really, we kind of want to flip everything, so it's facing the opposite direction. So we might want to try doing a mirror on this entire object. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work with so many objects in here, but let's give it a shot. So we'll grab the whole thing, we'll go to Mesh, Mirror, and we want to do a flip. And we're going to flip this across the, let's see, let's just say across the world. And we're going to do this across the Z-axis or Z-axis. I'm going to hit Apply. I'm going to close that. Move this back here, and it looks like that actually turned out very well. So I'm going to DV, snap that right there, and then we are going to go ahead and move this back over this way, and this is going to snap. I'm trying to see what this little thing is right here. I think, I guess that does need to stay for the moment, so we're going to keep that. This is going to snap, I think, right there. You know what, that snaps perfectly into place. And that's good. Everything's flipped over just fine. We've got no problems with our scales, it looks like. Let's take a look at the female bathroom. That's a problem with the scale where it says -1. So we are going to go to Modify Freeze Transforms, and I'm going to go to just Scale and apply that right there. That way, at least, I shouldn't have to worry about things getting inverted or normals being inverted and so forth because of the scale being all funky when I bring things into Unity. All right, so with that, obviously some of the naming convention now is going to need to be changed. Bathroom door male, bathroom door female, and so forth like that. And we'll get to that soon enough. But the only major thing that's going to change compared to this and the men's side is in the female bathroom, we're going to get rid of the urinals. So there's urinal 0, 1, 2, and 3. And all we need to do now is go ahead and grab, so we have toilet male. So we're going to want to duplicate one of these toilets. I don't know why it says male. There's no difference. So, I mean, in reality, there shouldn't be any difference. Let's modify center the pivot on this. Try this again, modify center pivot. And that is definitely not a centered pivot. And let's see, is this, what are you a part of that's just destroying everything that I hold dear in life? So we've got, for some reason, a perspective camera is underneath the toilet, which is just, is that under these? No, I have no idea why that perspective camera was under that toilet. Why is there a perspective camera under the toilet? All right, now let's modify center the pivot. Much better. Okay, now we should be able to hold down the X key, move this over to, I believe I did grid snap these to somewhere like that. And now all I need to do is go to the stalls. And what we want is one of the stalls, one of the doors, and one of these as well. And we should be able to Control D these and move these over and snap them to the grid. And that looks perfect. And really, I can probably get away with having an additional stall here. So let's do a Control D again. And that way we have, maximum stalls in here, which would make sense. You would try to maximize the number of stalls you have. You can Control D this one as well and move that off into there. Great. So now we've got tons of stalls in the women's bathroom. Sinks are fine. Everything else seems to be fine. We could go in here and make some changes. Big ones. Oh, let's see. Did we copy those ceiling elements over? Let's go to Display, Show All. And it looks like we did, so that's great. Yeah, really, all we need to do is do some name cleanups. So if we go to bathroom female, we've got bathroom wall meter, door, male, bathroom wall male, meter, and third. Let's just say, calling them male and female at this point really doesn't make any sense. They're the same asset, but let's see. Those are all good. Toilet, yeah, really, toilet male, toilet female doesn't make sense. And I'm probably going to end up getting rid of all of these, the gender stuff anyway. But for right now, I'm just going to stick with it until I go through here and do like a real full clean house, which is going to probably happen right before we do the final export of everything in the entire scene. Where I'll just spend an hour on naming convention. And yeah, this should be femens, fee. What was I thinking? Once again, I guess technically in a way, this does make things easier because if I did want to just do a search, I could just search for female and I would get all the assets in one search and then be able to select them very easily. But I also have the group, which is going to make that kind of redundant. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, I think. Female and male. Okay, great. All right, and with that, we now have the female and the male component, and they're all sharing the same materials at the same time, so that shouldn't be a problem. So we've got male, we've got female. Now we could technically go file, let's see, game exporter. And I know I have it called men's room right now, but let's just continue with that just because when I export it, I don't have to worry about anything. Now let's open up Unity and see what we have. And if I did everything right, the associations should match. All the textures and materials should work just fine out of the box. And yeah, that's it for our male and female bathrooms. One thing you'll notice is that I'm missing all of the fixes. I went ahead and already fixed the ceiling textures as well as fixed the pivots on the doors. So, unfortunately, those are still hidden, so I'm going to have to undo that really fast. And we also need to set up our lights in this scene as well. You can see right now the bake's just not working. And it looks like there's a second floor element in here. That's for some reason, it's come along for the ride. And that's probably going to be part of the actual main room. Not this, but that's the nav path. But then there should also be another floor element somewhere. So there's men's room 01, and then there's bathroom female, bathroom male, and then, did we export everything accidentally? I think we accidentally exported everything. Let's try this again. So bathroom male, bathroom female, and we want to do export selection, export. Yes, this is what we want to do. Hit OK, come back over here. Let it regenerate, and much better. Now we just have these two elements. Oh, but I did forget to do the ceiling, so why don't we could do it in Unity as well, but let's just fix it. So mod display, show all, and once again, might as well have the export working properly to begin with. Hit OK, come on over here. Now there's going to be backface culling in Unity, so we can see right through it regardless. can zoom on in over here, and we can see the nice render quality we get over on this side. And all we need to do now is copy our lights over to the other side and actually do a bake. So these are probably not going to show up as, do they show up as static? They are static, light map, reflection probe static, but we probably don't have real-time baking on. So we need to generate the lighting again. But before I do that, I also need to duplicate the reflection probe. So let's go ahead and turn on my gizmos and turn on lights and reflection probes. Grab this reflection probe. And so I'm actually going to bring this reflection probe over this way. And let's modify the box as well, because it should not be this large. So we don't want this probe data in the other room. So we're just going to do like that. And that should be good enough. And we can now duplicate that probe, bring it over to the other side. And actually, I want the probe to be closer to the mirror, I think. We'll modify this side here, pull that just outside of the boundary, pull this one just there. And the other sides are fine for the moment. I mean, yes, the tops and the bottoms are a little bit obscene, but it's nothing too crazy. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, so now we've got our reflection probes. Now all we need to do is grab our lights. And right now I'm not going to worry about naming at the moment. Everything's kind of trial and error. So we're going to duplicate those light sources, bring them over to the other side, and put them about there. Great. Now, all we need to do is a new bake. So I'm going to go ahead and let this bake, and we'll take a look at it in a few seconds, but it's really not going to be any different than what we've already seen. But the bake tends to be CPU intensive, so trying to record and bake at the same time is a big no-no. So I'll come back in the next video, and we'll take a final look at these two scenes before we pretty much wrap it up with the bathrooms, at least, you know, without adding any additional kind of elements to it. All right, see you in a few seconds. Bye. All right, so the baking has finished, and we're going to notice something that I didn't notice last time, and that is I do have seams in my walls at different locations. So there's one right there. Here's one right there. Where basically wherever the wall actually was broken up into two separate elements is where we have an issue. Now, I have to say, I don't exactly know how I'm going to fix this. And actually, look, we still got that seam right there from Substance Painter, which I could kind of cast aside as you know, mirrors come in segments, there's going to be a seam. But here in the wall, this is a big problem after a light bake. And it seems like when it's baking the light and it's assessing, I'm guessing, the vertices of each of these objects, it's getting a different light value from one side versus the other. That, or maybe the light value inside the wall is somehow causing an issue as well, as we can see right there. Now, I thought by segmenting these up into blocks, this would actually cause some of that issue to go away, but it seems to still be there, and I'm not 100% sure on how to go about fixing this. I have tried, while it was rendering, to change some of the settings, increase samples and so forth, and overall the quality, to just see if maybe that was one of the issues. But so far, none of them have really done much to fix this issue. So I'm going to have to do some research and find out how I'm going to make this work. Now, that might be doing something where I actually merge these different wall elements together so that these seams kind of disappear or they share vertex information. Not exactly sure at this time. But either way, we do have both of the bathrooms done. Everything came through just fine. No issues. It's just this light baking anomaly wherever we have a seam in the room. And I'm hoping that this is going to be a relatively easy fix once I learn a little bit more about the whole process. But you can see also too that the doors now open up properly, no issue there. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I'll do some research on the lighting stuff, but I'm trying to think. I'm not exactly sure what the next part I'm going to tackle. I don't know if I'm going to continue. Whoa, ETA 16 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to continue with the modeling or if I'm going to dive into something else. So, well, we'll all see in the next video, I suppose. So long and goodbye.